boys and girls, today for Show and Tell, I brought this guitar here, which looks like a Fender Cabronita, but it's not. It's a Harley Benton Deluxe Series TE-90 FLT WH. And if you don't know, Harley Benton makes some pretty cool guitars, and he sells them super cheap. We're checking out the Harley Benton Deluxe Series TE-90 today on Ray Plays Guitar. Let's get into it. So Harley Benton is owned by a company named Thomann. They're a huge retailer in Germany, and they sell a ton of stuff. And Harley Benton is their house brand, and their thing seems to be selling guitars at a very affordable price, but giving you a lot of bang for your buck. For example, this guitar sells for $179, brand new. What? This guitar sells for $179. Now, you can only get them from Thomann Music, which is in Germany. So you're going to have to pay shipping. But shipping on this directly to my house here in Texas was only like $50 some, like $56 or something like that. Express was like $70 some. So you can still get this with shipping and everything for less than $250, which is pretty amazing. Now, is it worth it? Well, first of all, let's go over the specs and see what's all involved with this guitar. This particular one is made in Indonesia. I guess Harley Benton was actually born in Indonesia. His mother was Indonesian, and his father, believe it or not, was the one and only Les Paul.
Fake news.
So Harley Benton, he's not even a real person. That's just a marketing name that Thomann Music came up with. And from what I understand, they got Harley because it sounded American to them, like Harley Davidson, and Benton because it kind of has a British flair. Together, they thought it created a sense of quality and luxury. I don't know about that, and I really don't like their signature, their logo. I think it looks cheap. And that's why I intentionally obfuscated the name with the extraneous stringage there. When I put new strings on here yesterday. I just got this guitar yesterday. Found it on Facebook Marketplace. I bought this for $140. That's like a dinner out with the family. Hey rock stars, you want to crank it up a notch? Then head on over to rayplaysguitar.com for killer merch and the chance to become a producer partner. When you join the crew, you get exclusive lessons, riffs, and behind-the-scenes content, free downloads and surprise gear giveaways, discounts on merch, and you'll be directly fueling the tone train here at Ray Plays Guitar. We have brand new shirt designs, as well as hats, shoes, backpacks, backing tracks, fanny packs, coffee mugs, and much more. If you're into riffs, tone chasing, and keeping real guitar music alive, RayPlaysGuitar.com is where it's at. Join up, plug in, and let's rock! What are the specs? We have an ash body. It's chambered, so which makes the body really light. However, I did notice when you're wearing a strap, it makes, because the body is so light, it's a little bit top heavy. So it kind of pulls down a little bit, which makes it feel on your shoulder like it's heavier than it actually is. It's kind of but it's still the same weight. It's kind of like the wind chill of weight. You know, it feels heavier than it actually is. How could that be? Anywho, Canadian maple neck, and it has like a sort of a satin finish or more of a matte finish, which is kind of nice. And then maple fingerboard, of course. Fingerboard radius is 350 millimeters. And for us stupid Americans, that's 13.78 inches. So it's a fairly flat fretboard. The bigger the radius, the flatter the fretboard. Just imagine a circle. If you have a small circle with a small radius, that circle, if you just cut a little piece of it, it's going to look very curved. But the bigger the radius, like imagine the Earth. The Earth has a pretty big radius, and it seems very, very flat. So flat, in fact, that some people believe that it is flat. No, it just has a huge radius. Scale length is 648 millimeters, which is 25.51 inches, so it's a Fender scale length. Nut width is 42 millimeters, or 1.653 inches wide. That's pretty standard. 22 frets. They're nickel frets, and the fret work is much better than what I have seen in the past from a guitar that's $179. No sharp edges. They're not, I mean, I could feel it a little bit. It's not sharp. They're better than most. They could have used a tiny little bit of love, and that's something I could probably do myself even. But it's not necessary. It's not like, oh, I have to do it. No, In fact, I probably won't. Feels great. And I haven't found any high spots or dead spots yet. Now, again, I only got it yesterday, so I haven't played it too much. And then it has two Roswell pickups. These are called FLT and Alnico 2 humbuckers. So they're Filtertron type, obviously. That's what the FLT stands for. NI, I assume, means it has a nickel covers here. But these are Filtertron type pickups, which are Gretsch type pickups. They are humbuckers, but they don't sound like PAFs at all. They have more of an edge, a top edge. That has a very unique top end, and that's what I really like about it. I like to spank the notes with these. We'll explore more tones in a minute. Let's finish these specs. It also has a reverse headstock. Now, some people have different schools of thought on the reverse headstock. Some people say it's better because, well, now your E string is longer and you want the lower strings to be longer, right? Low strings should be longer. Yeah, that's kind of true, except for the fact that we have a nut that makes all the strings the same length for all intents and purposes. You know, they say, well, it's like a piano. The lower strings on the piano are longer than the higher strings. And that's true, but they are actually different lengths. If you want to translate that to a guitar, that would be more like a multi-scale guitar where every string is a different length. But here we have a nut making everything the same length. But some people will say that the entire length of the string affects the way that it feels. I don't know if I haven't really noticed that. But whether any of that is true or not, I don't care. What I do like about the reverse headstock is that for me, it does make it more comfortable to tune. Everything's right there, really easy to tune. It has DLX chrome hardware. Oh, deluxe chrome hardware and deluxe die-cast metal machine heads. Okay. And the color is vintage white translucent. The weight is somewhere in the 6 pounds. 6 pounds and some ounces. I don't have a scale, but it's pretty light. And from the looks of it, it looks really good. I got this used. The guy that I got it from said he got it used, but it's still fairly new. I mean, all this plastic on the back still has like the plastic coverings on there that you could peel off, but I'm not. I'm going to leave it on there for a while. So looking at it, the finish is nice. They don't mention what it is, what type of finish it is, but I assume it's polyurethane, of course, where you have a gloss finish on the body and then a matte finish on the back of the neck, making it a little more comfortable to play and move up and down that neck. Yeah, I took these off and looked inside, and it looks like they painted the cavities with, I assume it's like a shielding type paint, and then they shielded the underside of the plate cover too. Same thing here. They got the shielding paint and they shielded the underside of the cover. All right, so these are Roswell pickups. That's a company that they were manufacturing like OEM parts for other companies like Seymour Duncan and MEC back in the 90s. And then they created their own brand, which is Roswell. And they're making all sorts of pickups, again, at a very affordable price point. Budget guitar all the way around, but can it play? My first impression of this thing is yes, it can. It feels great. The neck is very comfortable. I didn't do anything to the setup. I just changed strings. It had 9 gauge on there. I put 10s on there. The neck feels great. Like I said, the fretwork is good. That's the neck pickup. I got this running through, right now it's pretty clean sound. I got it running through my Sir Badger 30 back here. Fairly clean setting. I do have it running through a pedal board. I got the modulation stuff running through the effects loop. Right now I got a reverb on. We'll get into some drives a little later, but let's take a look at some clean tones here. bridge pickup. How does it sound with some overdrive? Well, let's find out. I'm going to pop on a Dude by... Who makes this? Oh, J-Rocket. That's right. The Dude by J-Rocket. Is it on? Oh, now it's on. Got the bridge pickup. Neck pickup. This knob's getting loose already. Gonna have to tighten that up. Oh well. This thing sounds pretty good. It's got pretty good sustain. Let's get some more gain going. I'm gonna turn on my Platinum pedal from Lee Jackson. It's a higher gain pedal, but I have it set kind of modestly. And it's still in tune. And it's still almost in tune. Let's see. How far did we get off with those big bends? I think that just might be because of the temperature. Alright, G's a little flat. These are fairly new strings still, though, too, so it might just be the string stretching out still. Check the tuning again. Yeah. It's going a little flat. I think it's just the string stretching out. Yeah, that's still good. Ah. Yes, tuning stability seems to be pretty good on this guitar. What's my verdict? Well, in terms of tone, it's got pretty good tone. I wouldn't say it's like, wow, but I can work with this. I can work with the tone here, for sure. Playability, great playability. It feels great. The action's good. I'm concerned about this loose knob, but that's easy to take care of. In terms of value, very high marks. You're getting a lot of guitar here. Siskel, Ebert, and I all give it our thumbs up. Well, that is my Harley Benton TE-90 in a nutshell. If you have any questions, please leave those below. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor. Hit that like button, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, but most of all, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.